Hi my creative fellas, welcome back to another episode of this anime show. Today we're going to paint Satoru Gojo, and I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little weird because I've caught a little cold and I tried to limit the commentary on this video due to that. Hopefully the process itself is clear enough for you to understand every step, and I try to give you tips as we go along the video. But there you go, you have the speed painting of today and I hope you enjoy. Let's dive right in. I always kinda try to take my time and do a decent sketch before I start. As I've told you many times, it's kinda like a wireframe for me that I'm going to put my paint on top of it. So this is the rough sketch that I do at the beginning of every painting. I'm really not a huge fan of line art, but I do my sketch, and this is more than enough for what I do. I like the approach of grayscale to color. So whenever I'm trying to paint something, I always start with grayscale, and there's some reasons for that. First is that you don't have to worry about the colors at the very first stage. You just work with the values and then you can colorize your painting the way you want. And second, you just get less distracted when you don't see colors in your painting. It also trains your mind to see the forms and shapes and these kind of things better. This grayscale to color approach is the best approach that I have found so far in digital painting. I get this question a lot: what kind of brushes I use to paint? It really does not matter, and I mean it. I've seen many great artists. I've seen their tutorials on Patreon or Gumroad or even on YouTube. I've seen their time lapses and breakdowns. They just use the default round Photoshop brushes, and that's all fine. I use a texture brush, and it's all personal preference, I think, because I love the texture it gives to my painting. It makes it more natural, because when I use a soft brown brush, it becomes very digital, becomes too soft, fake. So I use these texture brushes to kind of give more life to my paintings. But remember, the brush don't really matter. I mean, not that much. It does matter a little. I have become so addicted to painting hair in different hairstyles that it's kind of become second nature. I don't really care what kind of art I'm making. I always try to change the hairstyle, even if it's something very simple and it's not really fantasy kind of stuff. I style the hair. I think it's one of the things that people really enjoy seeing in my arts. I always get compliments for my different hairstyles. I don't really know where the idea of these crazy hairstyles came from, but since I have started painting different hair in my artworks, they've become like way too more attractive than they used to be, because the normal hair that I have just not so attractive. Again, for all the detailing of the hair and decorating it, I just use the default hard round brush. It's the best, trust me, the best brush ever to paint the hair. I don't really like to create custom hair brushes, and I just enjoy painting hair one strand at a time, like paint it strand by strand, build it up slowly. That's a whole lot more flexible in my opinion, and it's a lot more fun. very weird faces, so we sure need to mimic those. And we need to just smoothen the skin as much as possible, change like eye colors, try to kind of make this face not look as real as it is. You know what I'm saying, right? First I was painting some highlights on this side of the face because I thought I would need it later on. I had something in mind, but I changed it. You know, it's always okay to change what you have in your mind if you think something else is going to work better. But yeah, still, I've painted some highlights on this side of the face. If you ever needed to change any eye color, just use a soft light layer and choose the color that you want and start painting inside of the pupil. Do not use a hue saturation or anything like this. Use the soft light blend mode, or if you want it to be too extreme, you can use overlay and they'll work perfectly. Just a little tip for ya. Pre-made backgrounds are perfect, but when you can't find a background, you need to create it from scratch, and that's exactly what I do here. On God, I had never painted eyebrows and eyelashes before. This was totally new for me, and I loved it. And it was at this moment that I realized my eyes were not really symmetrical. Is one of my eyes bigger than the other one? Because that's what I always feel like. Anyways, that was kind of screwed up, so I duplicated one eye and I put it on top of the other so that my face looks more symmetrical.